get a diploma.
Education, no, it's not a point.
We're going to have the education ministry in our doors if we say that.
Do you really think you should, your diploma is not worth it, or?
No, I just think that sometimes people, like the government, let's say, they say like go to school, go to bachelor, then get the master, and then you will have the wonderful job that you've always dreamed of. And I don't think it's true. I just think that you can also work hard without having to go to school and get the bachelor and the master and still have that dream job you always dreamed of.
Is it actually like that in France? The government?
No, I know, not the government. I mean, like it's an overall society pressure.
Okay.
I think it's more like
success is tied to having a master. You know what I mean?
Like this is kind of like, it's kind of the scam or propaganda situation where they tell you like, oh, if you're talented, you're going to make it with the talent within that realm. And it's not true. For talent, you need hard work and grit and a lot of
connections.
Exactly.
And connections.
Exactly.
Like one of the most valuable things is actually connections and network. And if you have
But
those...
I think it also depends on the field. Like you cannot
Yeah, of
just
course.
skip your diploma if you want to be a doctor or lawyer.
Of course.
You
I
have
mean,
to go
you
to the
don't.
school. Don't, yeah.
Learn
But-
every pages.
Exactly. But if you want to be like, for example, I'm talking about myself in tourism or in marketing, you don't need it.
Exactly.
Like,
All
You
those
kind
fields.
of need it to...
but for what? Whatever I learned, I never ever used it.
But
Like,
do they require it when you do like job applications?
not everywhere.
Not
I think it
everywhere.
depends.
They care more about like your experience.
Exactly.
skills, yeah.
Like, and this is such a scam. Whenever you see a job application, they want to see
Experiences.
experience, 3 to 4 years experience, and how
After
would
school.
you get that experience if you were studying? Like, it
Yeah.
does make sense sometimes.
You know, I also feel like, and this is what I wish I would have maybe done differently, or like I would want my kid to do that. Like there are those schools where they are a lot on field with in terms of like career and what you can do in your life. Because I was just telling Valentina the other day that there is so much out there within an industry that I don't even know. Like within the art industry, there is consultants and like it's not just artists. And same with fashion and whatever. And because I have like the school that I went to was like a very normal school, and everybody was like, oh, what do you want to be? Do you want to be in marketing? Do you want to be a doctor? Or do you want to, and you know, like it's really limiting. It's
Yeah. I feel like there is not a lot of counseling in terms of what kind of field you can go to. Like it's always the main lines, like you say, like lawyer or doctor or na.
Yeah.
And like to go back to what you were saying, I think like education is still important, but I don't think that, for example, me in hospitality, I didn't need to do 7 years of studies to work in the marketing in hospitality. Like 2 years
Tell
was
me
enough,
about
and then I could just go and
But at
have
the
the
same time, I
experience.
find it super pressurized currently. Like for us, if you ask me now what is my future plans, I don't know. But how do you expect 17 years old to answer what you want to be in the future?
Exactly. Like my point with not having field work is also like I thought I want to do something like back when I was a teenager. And then I went because it was a very like tough choice. And I went and I did 2 days of like voluntary work there. And I went home and I was like, no way, I can't do this.
Like,
And
I feel like, okay, for our parents, like my mom grew up in USSR, right? So for them, they already know they are engineers, they are, I don't know, doctors, or they are this kind of like, it's already set it up.
Like if
they're
you want to be
teachers.
successful, you
Exactly.
have to choose one of these
Exactly,
three.
but for now, like I have my 2 little sisters, they are graduating from the school, and whenever I'm asking them, what do you want to be in the future, they are like, I don't know.
of course.
They don't know, like they don't know what field they want to attend. And I was like, take 1 year break if you need time.
Yeah, like I think, I mean, how I did it is I took a break for I think a year or so. And it was not a real break because I did study something that was my passion. So I was like, okay, this year I will take it as a break, but I will still do something. And I was working and I was studying becoming a pastry chef because I loved baking. And that's kind of how I started off. And I'm not saying it's the way, but it definitely, I feel like that year was not wasted. And I don't feel like, oh, why did I do it? Because it was actually a passion project that I was doing. I also earned money because I had the time to work next to it. So in a way, I was very grateful for my parents that they allowed me to do that.
Yeah, but not all parents are supportive of that. Sometimes, like, Okay, I will give myself as a sample. My little cousin, she just graduated from school, and she wants to be in a different field, and her parents are pressuring her to pick different field because it's more paying more stable and etc. And me, I'm trying to support my sister in a way that it's her future bread, and she needs to deal with that. Like, she needs to love what she's doing, otherwise she will be miserable.
Yeah.
And this is super sad, and this is a mindset of our parents, unfortunately.
I feel like, I mean, if I ever had kids, which I hope I do one day, like, even if they don't know what they want to do, I would still ask them to do something, like learn a skill. And if you don't want to do that, that's fine. Like, but just keep your mind occupied. Always learn. Always be intrigued in finding new things. And it's like, you're not pressured to pick that path and stick to it, but pick something to do until you figure out what you want to do. Because you're not staying at home smoking weed and watching Netflix. Like, that's not happening. Yeah. You're gonna go out there, and you want to dance. You want to sing. You want to become a lawyer, study. Like, you do everything you want to do until you figure out what it is you want to do, but just constantly learn new things. Like, your mind has to stay active, because otherwise you'll just become dull and a grandma at 20 years old. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I don't feel like you should feel the pressure to stay in school unless like you mentioned, you want to become a doctor or a lawyer or obviously a psychologist, like these things that you really do need to study for. I feel like you should just do what feels, I don't know, like, I mean, after high school, I didn't do anything, you know, like I just went into dancing, modeling, singing. Like, I focused more on like an artistic path.
Yeah.
And I really loved that. And I learned so much through it that I don't know, like maybe, I don't know what my life would have been like if I went to like college or university or something, but I don't know, it just didn't feel right for me, and I survived, you know. I'm fine.
I mean, I do think that, for example, now I would go to university for some things that I would love to gain more knowledge on. It's more like because I'm interested in the topic rather than I want it as a career path. Like, I would love to learn about literature or philosophy and these things. I feel like it could be really nice to study in a proper environment with people who have, like, are scientists and have put in the work for it. So,
but it required you to grow up and find it. Like, this is what I mean. Like, for example, now I really love reformer Pilates to the point where I'm like, okay, actually I'm thinking of going in and studying it. So I don't know if I will go and teach it, but at least like I went through the whole process of getting a curriculum in it. Like, it really intrigues me that much, but I would have never thought about that when I was like 17. Like, they would have never crossed my mind, you know? It's something that I discovered now, and it's like, okay, I can do it. But I guess the other thing is that when you're growing up, you're like, okay, what can I do for money, right? Yeah. And this is how you start thinking about education or not education. And it's like,
I mean, it's also how Naira said, it's like a social pressure that they put on everyone. Like, I just don't like the idea that you can only be educated if you actually went to university.
Exactly.
Because it's not like that. Like, when I was in high school, I knew that I didn't want to go to any university because there was nothing that actually really interested in, like, I was interested in nothing to go to uni. Literally, there was something like I was already very passionate about yoga. So I knew that, okay, I want to be maybe a yoga teacher. So I want to go to different schools or trainings, which are still giving you like a license. It's not like a proper university degree, but you still have a knowledge, you know?
Yeah, of course.
And then I remember people were judging me because I had no plans to study and be educated, how they call it, right? And then something changed in a few years. Like, people realized that everyone is actually studying to become an engineer, a doctor, or lawyer. And then it's just so many of them in our country. That they had this propaganda that, okay, now everyone just go study something that is actually not giving you a university degree. And I was like, okay,
like, you know, these like handy jobs, basically.
Yeah, exactly. And like, actually I was like, that's what I'm saying for years, and people keep judging me for that. And now actually everyone realized that, oh, actually it's true. Like, it's not okay if everyone is only like all the girls want to be like working in marketing.
Yeah.
No,
Oh my
actually,
God.
if we talk about the money part, I really, that was my plan. I really wanted to be a plumber. And then my mom was like, what? Say again? And
But
I'm like,
yeah,
I can imagine Laura the plumber with the hat,
with the hose and the thing, you know, and I was actually like, I was really considering it because I'm like, oh, money? Okay, that must make a lot of money because everybody needs plumbers. And actually, it's a job that
they do.
Yeah. And then my mom was like, yeah, but probably as a woman. And like, I mean, I think you can do it. It's still like, there are some countries where it's super safe, but then I gave up.
Woman who scares of cockroaches.
Yeah, no, I mean,
That was back in the day.
That was back in the days. But also,
When she didn't know about everything, you know.
and I overcame my fear of cockroaches since I live with Valentina, and I'm like, she's more scared than me, so I have to kill the cockroach.
But no.
Just FYI, they don't live in a house filled with
No,
cockroaches.
no.
But yeah, I know what you mean as well, that like you can study something that doesn't take as much time as a 7-year university would, but or like 4 to 7. I mean, it's a lot of your years.
It's a lot.
And it will still get you a license to do something, you know?
Yeah.
Which is like, this is my point. I mean, till this day, I don't have like a license to do anything, but I still made it through life. So I feel like it shouldn't you shouldn't feel like it's education or nothing, you know, unless you really are passionate about studying.
It's not only the paper that's gonna prove that you actually have the knowledge of something. So.
And I think it also depends on the country. Like, for example, I know like Switzerland, obviously it's like very hard to get a job unless you have
Same for France.
like unless you have either like you went to uni or you did get a license for something, but like everything is judged based on your as you would say education. So especially if you want to earn well, like if you want to earn well, there's no way around it.
But I think because there are countries where I think education is so good that I would say yes, it's not that it's needed, but you do get a lot of skills that you will use versus there are countries where some of the, I mean, and I'm talking about maybe Hungary, where some of the universities, they are, I'm not saying a scam.
It depends on the field.
It depends on the field.
Because
it depends on the
Hungary is
university.
very, very good in education if it comes to
medical and like, but there are fields and universities and teachers where they will not teach you any skills. So you come out with a diploma in whatever marketing, and then you show up first day at your job and you don't know anything, and you're like, okay, I didn't learn about this. And that's kind of
like they're teaching you like algebra,
outdated.
which you don't need anywhere.
Yeah, like
honestly, trigonometry and all this. I'm like, why?
But also, I think it depends as well as like what kind of paying jobs can you get in that country, because you're putting all this money and effort and time into going to uni, as you were saying, Naira, and they're selling you this dream that you go do that. You spend 7 years in school and then you will have a big fancy title and a big fancy job, but it's not true. Like you can't even get a job that pays for your rent, let's say, right? Like it's like it's just crazy. So I guess it comes down to that as well. Like I know like in Switzerland, I mean, every country has its good and its bad, but obviously I don't know other countries as well as Switzerland because that's where my family lives and stuff. But there, like most jobs, especially if you have studied, are very well paying. They will take care of you. So of course, you'll feel more motivated to be like, all right, I'll go to school because then actually I will get paid a salary that will have made sense, you know? But then a lot of countries don't have that. Like you go through all this effort just to have the door shut in your face when you're out.
Exactly.
Same, like even if you have a bachelor or master degree or you don't have, starting point is the same. You will get the same money, you will get the same benefits.
Yeah.
Like it's about wasting time. Don't take me wrong, education, it might be important, but at the same time, it's not for all the field.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I should have just skipped and start from the scratch rather than taking this my diploma and after starting from the scratch again. Like I feel like I wasted this 4-year, 5-year difference. Like I could have been in different position.
But I also wanted to, I mean, because you girls, Naira and Anisa, you both studied. I mean, Valentina as well. Sorry. No, I just wanted to ask, but like the experiences that you got, this is what I I'm not saying I miss, but I kind of wish I would have experienced like a year abroad, or those kind of
the exchange years.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I love it.
There are good things and bad things. Like, for example, me with my studies, I was lucky that throughout these studies and stuff, I get to do internships. So I went to New York, I went to London, and etc. So it was nice, and I met people. And this is how I managed to get also those experiences, because the thing is, like, I know a lot of fields, you do the 7 years without internship and anything, and then you have to find a job, and the guy is saying, like, you need 10 to 20 years of experience to get that entry-level jobs. You know what I mean?
It's insane, yeah.
It's sometimes, it's tricky, depends on the field and depends on what you want to do.
A part of the education part, university is really fun. Like,
It is.
I met lots of cool people. I really understood what I really want from my life, what is actually interests me. I met really good friends with whom I'm friend yet. And it's actually super, super cool. Internship, like, I would never could imagine myself studying in China, for example. Like, this is insane.
cool.
It's so much opportunity. It gives you a lot of opportunity. But would I spend 4 years again?
No.
But I also feel like many people are going to study in universities just for networking, basically, because
that's what I would do. I would try to get my kid into the most expensive
Honestly.
a good plan, actually.
Yeah. But I guess it's also like we are trying also in that way to delay the adult life, you know what I mean?
Not everyone. Like, I started my adult life in my
I was
uni.
trying to delay it, so I am everyone. Like, I felt like, I don't know about you, but I wasn't ready after high school to get on a job and pay bills and you know what I mean? So I guess it's a way also to find yourself, know what you like, what you don't like, search, and
I mean, for a lot of people. And I kind of wish I would have had more internship opportunities, because probably that would have helped me as well. Because I started with working at places, and I kind of took it let it flow, wherever it goes, it goes. Like, if I get promoted because they think my skill is great for that, I'm going to do that. And now I'm thinking back, I just wish I would have seen more of the field, the industry. And for an internship would have been perfect for that. So I think that's those are the good things of university that you.
But at the same time, like, for example, Naira, you and I, we studied in the same field. We working in the same field. Do you think whatever you studied, what you got from your school, are you using it right now?
Honestly, just the overall knowledge about hospitality, yes. So when I go to a hotel, I'm not clueless. But most of the thing I learn it through the job, not at,
most of the information and the knowledge I got, it was through my experience in this scholarship, internship, and etc. But whatever I studied, all these books I was carrying every day,
honestly,
pointless.
But I guess it makes sense as to how can I explain? If you didn't get if everyone didn't get an education, then. Or how can I explain? They have to prioritize people that got an education over, well, I don't like this word, but that went to, let's say, get their diploma over people that don't have one. It's not necessarily say that if you don't have one, you won't get the job. It's just they'll obviously kind of prioritize the people that did get a diploma, because that's how the system works. Otherwise, nobody would go.
I think it depends on the countries. I know that, for example, in Japan and Korea, they do look at the education. If you don't have your certain education level, you will not get a higher salary.
But honestly, same here. If you don't have a certain diploma, you can't get certain visas. Even I don't know the visa name now, but certain high positions, when you do your visa application, you do need to show your diploma.
I know it's practiced in US to get, for example, if you don't have diploma, you'll get this amount. If you have diploma, you'll get higher amount, something like that. So I feel like it depends on the country.
Yeah, it's just it's the system. If they didn't run it this way, then nobody would go out there and go to uni. You know what I'm trying to say? So it does make sense. It doesn't make sense, but it makes sense, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I'm also happy that a lot of people, it just helps with people having common sense at the end of the day.
That's what I wanted to say. It gives you a different point of view on how you look at the world.
Yeah.
I mean, it also depends what you're studying, but I don't feel like that it didn't give you any knowledge. Like when we were working on Onda, I could see that you guys, you had different input, you know, because I could feel that you actually studied.
But this I wouldn't say it came from my school, it came from my experience, because this is what I'm doing at work. This is why I might have more knowledge than you do, because I do it every day at work.
But Valentina, you studied and it was your choice. Nobody pressured you. Do you feel like it was a good choice to study? I mean, I'm just curious because I can, like, yes, when somebody else pressures you, it's easier to say that, I wouldn't have done it because somebody put me into this spot.
I mean, don't take me wrong. I wasn't pressured.
Yeah.
But
I kind of feel like I was a bit pressured in the end by my ex.
Okay, I was like, to be a yoga teacher?
The what?
For the yoga teaching.
I studied in university.
Okay, sorry. I thought it was only
for my degree, like, because back in that time when we actually had to choose if you want to study or not, I was with this guy, and everyone in our friend group, they were studying as well, and I felt like, okay, maybe I should study as well. So I went, and actually I don't regret in a way that it gave me so many, experiences as moving abroad and meeting so many nice people and good connections and everything. And also it had me to...
Did you stay in touch with the people that you met in university?
Yes.
Not everyone, of course, but some of them, yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I feel like you can get through life with or without. Like, I feel like, especially at this age, that people don't know what to do. Just take into consideration many things. Unfortunately, the world judges a lot of things, as in, like, where are you from? Where's your passport from? Like, I don't know. Yes, where did you get your education? Because you could have gotten your whole education, but into some countries, because it was done in that country, it's like, oh, so what?
I mean, it depends also in which part of the world you are based. Yeah,
exactly. This is my point. So this is what I'm saying. Like, you could have gotten your education in Z, but A doesn't respect Z enough to even recognize your education. So then it's actually like, okay, what do you do with this? You know?
Exactly.
Yeah,
So
true.
I feel like you have to take everything into consideration, understand what do you truly want, and like you will. Either way, there are people that have been just fine with education and a diploma, and there have been people that are just fine without one.
I really feel like, to me, from my experiences, the main problem is the lack of counseling, because I feel like people goes in the same field because they don't know anything else. When I'm looking, for example, in France, it's either you go to lawyer or medicine and stuff, but most of the people then only goes to marketing and communication. And it's super wide. Like, what does it mean to study marketing and communication? And now I'm seeing my friends, for example, my friend's sister, she has this diploma in marketing and communication, but the field is so blocked because everyone studied that she couldn't find a job.
Oh, yeah.
And it's so sad because, you know, I feel like in France, especially, actually, there are a lot of school for a lot of stuff, but no one knows about it. For example, I work with a woman at my hotel, and she went to a broderie school to do broderie art. And now she's recognized as a broderie artsy person worldwide. You know what I mean? And I'm like, I didn't even know that there was a broderie school. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like this goes back to the topic where I'm like, I would start this from when you are a kid to see like, and when you are a child, what your interests are. And of course, you will not see the money aspect of this field yet. But then again, like within art, you have so many ways to make money that it doesn't actually, like, it doesn't affect you unless, like, you have to be self-aware, you have to know yourself, and you have to kind of know what you will enjoy.
Yeah. And you need to be guided through it.
Yeah.
Like, if I want to be an astronaut, people will take it as a joke. Oh, you want to be an astronaut? No, maybe it's true. Then guide me to the proper school to become an astronaut. Exactly. Don't tell me, but, you know, let's be real. You will become either a doctor or
a science teacher, but not an astronaut.
Yes. And like, for example, me, I was like, oh, I want to work in fashion. But like, it was so wide. I didn't know what in fashion. But if I knew that in fashion, you can be also a fashion art director, whatever, or you can work in marketing, but in fashion, or HR, but in fashion. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It would have helped me I'll be
Yes.
still in that world, but in a different, or more specific.
Like
Job.
information, basically.
Yeah, so I guess
We are not guided.
The moral of the story is if you're looking to now, like you're wondering to yourself, like what should you do next? If there is a specific brand, like something that interests you, check what other things are within that that maybe interest you even further. Because like you said, it's very broad. There's many factors to it. Like
Exactly.
you can, I mean, I don't know, let's say dance. You can become a dance teacher. You can become a dance academy director. You can become, there's like
Dance choreographer.
yeah, like there's many
stylists.
It can be so specific. Like it's really, I don't know. I feel like they're not guiding people enough, and then we are all in the same sector, and we look at each other and we're like, but I'm better. I'm better too. But I studied here.
But I feel like it's also a pressure, as I said, is from our family. It comes like whenever you're a kid, like you got a bad grade, your mom will be like, oh, if you look at that garbage man, if you don't study, you will be like him. Like,
damn,
That's tough.
yeah, like
Part of the world.
yes, and you will be
part
like,
of the
oh my
world.
god, you look at this garbage man like he's a failure, but actually it's not. Maybe
And actually
this is
they
what
make a
he
lot
likes.
of money,
They
to
do.
be honest. Yeah.
And maybe like this is what he's enjoying is to do. Maybe it's not because he's not studying, he doesn't have a opportunity. Maybe he likes it.
Yeah, and again, like sometimes, I had jobs which were so like they didn't require any qualification, and I had the best time of my life. Like for those months that I worked there, I had fun. Like I was enjoying my time working, and I actually enjoyed my job.
Similar my first internship was in F&B. I loved it so much. Like, to be honest, I would love to be in F&B. Like, you don't need a certain qualification or a degree to be in F&B. But I enjoyed it so much. I love it so much. It's just I'm clumsy. That's a different story. But it was so cool.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like you have to really like put yourself out there and do your research and try to work for free for a couple of days somewhere. Like they are always, I feel like a lot of the places, they will always take a helping hand and show you things. So
I have a question. How did you feel, Laura, to get a job that many people would probably need to have a diploma for, but you knew that you didn't have a diploma, but you still got the job and you still earn more than people that did have a diploma? Like, how did that feel when you got those type of jobs?
I mean, first of all, I was grateful because I was just like very, I mean, it's nice to have the feedback that you have the skill sets.
Yeah.
But also it makes me actually, I mean, it makes me question the universities as well. Like, what do people study there? If I'm sorry, but I can put it up there.
I agree.
You know, like it makes me question why was it so, but also like the fields, I agree that I was always, so how I looked at my experiences, I was always curious to learn from other people. So in a way, yes, I didn't do university, but I was never the kind of person who would sit back and say, okay, I don't want to do this. I'm not interested.
Yeah.
So whenever I was working, I did try to learn things. And so I think it's like the confidence.
Yeah.
Then
I think that the will to succeed and to really like have the job and whatever, like, it doesn't matter if you didn't get into university as long as you have this will within you.
Like I think I took that confidence of like, okay, but my mentor, my boss, my whoever I was working with, my colleague, she showed me everything, so I can prove you that I know what I'm talking about. And it's more like that confidence level that I think in university they don't really actually try to teach you the confidence. They are like, oh, but your grade was not right, so you will not be good. No, but you can still be good. Or, like...
It's not very hands-on. It's just, here's the book, study it.
Yeah.
And your grade will define how smart you are. But it's not that. Like, you need physical experience and, like, visual learning,
Yeah, and also, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it's also... because you are at the right place with the right people and they take you on. And I will always say this, but I got my roles or jobs because somebody believed in me, because they met me and they know me, and they were like, oh, okay, so are you looking for a job? And this is how I got my roles, and I
how
think
you continue to get requests.
Yeah.
This girl, she is booked and loaded, but every time she goes on a meeting, they're still offering her jobs, and she's there for her own company. Like, I don't need to work for you. And you're like, but come work for me. So,
no, but it's the field as well.
But this is my point, I guess. Like, you can make it with or without. It's up to you.
Exactly, yeah.
But if you were to give some advice to young people that are not sure which fields to go into, and don't necessarily want to spend 4 to 7 years in a university, which fields would you recommend them to have a look into? I can really help with this because I'm just the COVID baby that went into TikTok and has been
Go into social media.
I mean, whatever I'm telling right now, like this conversation I'm daily having with my sisters, and I'm just telling, be smart enough to recognize what you want to do and what will make you happy, but at the same time, don't get too delusional.
Yeah.
Don't, I'm happy, like, let's say dancing, but have your structure. That your field needs to feed you in the future. It needs to make money for you to grow for the future.
It's like what you love is not always the same as what you are good at. So try to find the middle ground of like what do you enjoy and what you're good at.
Yes, and certain lifestyle, like if you want to have a luxury life, you have to work your ass off. You cannot just sit in a couch and money will just come out from the blue sky. No, life is tough.
But the industries that I think that have a lot in them, and I can see that they're growing, it's tech. And like, this is why social media, we were joking about it, but like, you don't have to just be an influencer if you don't like to be in front of the camera. You can be behind the camera. You can be developing something. You can be marketing, but AI or tech. Like, you can be a lot of things, but tech, I feel like it's something that's going to keep growing.
Because I know there's a lot of people that are just looking to make money. They don't know what to go into. They are kind of lost, but they want to start something. But a lot of things you need money to start. So it's like, where can they start where it's just like, you know what I'm trying to say? Like a leg up into just getting started.
Yeah.
I don't know, like, I would say don't be afraid of taking a step back to grow more rather than just being stuck in one place just because they pay you well.
Yeah, and I also like to learn. Again, I go back to the mentors. I like to find people who are kind of where I want to be at some point in my life. So, and I try to either take advices from them or work under them, work with them, obviously you can't reach Kris Jenner, but you can try to reach someone who is, you might get an internship with them. You know what I mean? Like, if you like someone's lifestyle and the way they go through life, try to understand how their thought process.
It's kind of like a part of researching.
Yeah, or like the internships that we said. Yeah.
Cool.
I think that's like, I'm going to take the example of one of my friends who actually watched the podcast, so she might say this. But it's so funny because in February we met each other. So we met in university, right? And we both study hospitality, but on the side, she was also a piano teacher because she used to learn piano and went to this music school and stuff. And so, we graduated for hospitality. She worked in nice brand and stuff. And when I met her in February, she just told me that she resigned and she went back to the, I don't know how you say that in
conservatory.
English. Conservatory school. And I'm like, what? What? And she's like, I just realized that I actually don't like what I'm doing, and I've been in love with music since I was a kid because her father is also into music industry, and this is what I want to do. So she started from scratch all over again, and she's now in a conservatory school. And I was like, first I was scared because I'm like, oh my God, sometimes with the age again, it's such a pressure that you're like, but we are 30. Are you sure you want to start again? How long will it be at school and stuff? Like, you're counting the days, right? And then she's like, but I'd rather start again and do something that I'm happy with than still being stuck.
Yeah.
And I think that this is like it was so I don't know how, yeah, because like, and it shows that you don't have to stay in a field that you don't like. You can always restart. Yeah. You can always do something else. You can, like, we are not limited to our education.
Yeah, it's also just to be aware that we are constantly changing, and our interests are changing as well. Like, it's completely normal to change your field whenever you feel like if you're not happy in one place, just change.
I might become a plumber then.
Maybe.
No, but true, like it's we only have one life, so study and do things the most.
So she changed the field, and now she's happy, and she's doing something that she loves. So this is my advice to anyone out there. Be curious, look for whatever you want to do. It's not limited to being a doctor or marketing or whatever. It can be anything else. It can be searcher of butterflies, or it can be a searcher in, I don't know, like there's anything else. There is many things, guys. So that's
some
be curious.
Lovely advice. I really love that. I hope you guys take that in, and feel free to comment below some fields that you feel like are really great for people to like look into and get started with. But yeah, we hope you guys enjoyed our episode, and we'll see you guys on the next one.
See you.